Hi everyone, this is Robbie with Warriorspirit-teachings. Welcome to my channel today. Today I want to talk about self-love. And before I get into the whole topic of self-love, I want to just ask you to support my new channel and subscribe and like this video if it resonates with you. So let's get started. First of all, I want to start out with just kind of a little story about my journey with self-love. I kind of like to tell a lot of stories on my channel. I feel like firsthand experience is probably the best way to learn things. I just feel like that. I mean, you can learn from books, you can learn a lot of great things like that, but life experience, it teaches you so much more. It's so much more intense. So anyway, I'm going to be sharing a lot of personal stories throughout this channel. So hope you're okay with that and hope that it can relate with you a little bit better. So, as far as self-love, so I want to start with, I guess taking back to my college years. So I just went to college and I was 18, and I had the pleasure of meeting this amazing Lakota medicine man. His name was Floyd Hand, and he taught me so much. He taught my whole family so much, but man, everything that he taught me in the stories and things, I mean, I would just listen to him and I would just try to gobble it all up and soak it all up so I can never forget, because gosh, he had such great wisdom. And so one of the things that he used to tell me to do was he would tell me basically that, Robbie, your problem is that you don't love yourself. And I remember when he used to tell me that, because, you got to figure I was a kid then. I was 18. And I'm 34 today, so that was quite a while ago. It seems like lifetimes ago. But he would tell me, Robbie, you need to love yourself. And so he would say that every day I need to look into the mirror and look at myself without makeup, without my hair done, without nice clothes on, and just look into the mirror and tell myself, Robbie, I love you. I love your face. I love my face. I love my smile. I love my eyes. I have beautiful hair. Things like that. And unfortunately, I didn't do it, because back then I just was a kid and I was all about being cool. And honestly, those words were just way over my head, because I couldn't even understand why he was telling me these things, my frame of mind, I was in a whole nother world about, being cool, being in college, and wanting to be well liked, and all those little stressors of trying to go to school. And if you are in college and you know how it is, kind of that pressure that you get all from grade school and into college, kind of that pressure of trying to fit in, trying to be well liked. Gosh, if you're lucky, maybe you'll be popular. Things like that is how I used to be. And so, and just hang in there with me, because it's all going to correlate in just a minute. But, he would tell me that, I need to love myself, which I just thought was bogus, because I was like, of course I love myself. Who doesn't love themselves? I just couldn't understand what he was talking about. And so, few years pass, well, quite a few years pass. I go through college. I get out of college. For a few years, I was out of college and just working and living and all of that. And I hit one of the darkest times of my life. And I was the sickest I had ever been. I had so much anxiety. I had anxiety so much that I couldn't even leave my place that I was living at. I mean, I had anxiety when I drove. I had anxiety when I went around big crowds. It was so bad that sometimes I had a hard time just going to walk my dog and leave the house to go walk my dog. I mean, it was awful. And so the point, though, of that is that I hit rock bottom. I have always been a really independent person, and, always had, be strong and carry on and keep moving forward. And, and I always had I always try to mask how I feel and try to just be strong and bottle it all up and just always put this tough persona out there. Like, I have it all under control and cool, calm, and collected. I'd always portray that. And so this was such a crazy thing for me to be in, to be out of control of what I felt. I was out of control. I had so much anxiety. I couldn't be calm and collected and cool. I honestly just felt like my life was falling apart, like shit was hitting the fan big time, and it was so hard. But the point is when I got to that lowest place in my life, it was like my life just broke apart. Like, everything that I thought I was and everything that people thought of me, basically just my whole entire persona, who I thought Robbie was just broken open. But when that happened, it forced me to really be honest with myself. And so if that wouldn't have happened, I feel like at the moment when I was going through it, that was the toughest time in my life. And I thought, oh my God, how am I going to make it through this? This is horrible. I hate feeling this way. Look at what I've become. I mean, it was awful as far as the ego trip, my ego, because that's all it is, saying that you have control and all these things. And so when I got past all that, I realized man, it was almost like it was starting again, like a rebirth, figuring out who the heck I really am. And with that, it was amazing. It gave me the gift of figuring out truly what self-love is. And to be able to be humbled and then to get the ideas of what other people think that I am or who I thought I was, to get all of that shit out of my mind and to come to a place where I was just okay with just being me. Came to a place where I was going back to what Floyd kept telling me to do when I was 18 years old. I got to a place where I was able to actually look in the mirror and look at my face without any makeup on. Now I'm wearing makeup because it's fun. But before, I used to do it to try to hide my impurities or hide my insecurities, things I didn't like about my face, I mean, shoot, I'm 34 years old, and you know what? I get stressed sometimes. And you know what? I'm a woman, so I get hormonal imbalances. So yeah, I have a zit right there. But you know what? It's okay if I have a zit. It's okay if you have a few zits, or even a couple. Like, there's so much pressure that we get from society about how women should look. Men get it as well. But, you know, since I'm a woman, I'm going to talk kind of about that. But we get so much pressure about like who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to look, you know, how we should do our makeup, how we should dress, how we should do our hair. So today, you know, I just decided I'm going to do something fun, you know, because I like to dress in kind of a different, weird style that a lot of people don't really like. And, you know, there's been multiple times, like I have these crazy shoes. They're these like awesome black, like flat shoes that have these points. And I don't know how many people have been like, what the heck are those? And I'm like, I love them. They're fun. Like, they're crazy. They're different. Like, I've never seen anything like them. And I like love the design. So I freaking wear them, man. And I think that's the point, you know? It's like self-love is when you get to the point where you truly love yourself regardless, you know? Like, back to my story. I was loving myself regardless of where I was in my situation. Yeah, I had a shit ton of anxiety. I wasn't healthy. I was imbalanced. You know, I had impurities on my face. Loved that shit, you know, like, and love my face and my hair without like, you know, makeup and having it all curled and done up. And love myself for my weird little quirks and the weird little things that I do. And so, you know, that was a thing that I really started to become aware of. You know, it came with a lot of like, you know, researching, and it's always really helpful to get out there. So if you found my video, I'm glad you did, but continue to research. Don't just stop here. Like, look out there, man. There's so many great teachers out there that can teach you about like self-love, spirituality, and all these different topics to help you like get basically to come to who you are, you know, to clear your mind out, unprogram yourself from what, you know, your parents taught you who to be, who the people in your life project who you are, and who you think you are, to get to who you truly are inside. And I hope that wasn't too confusing, but the point is to get deep inside to that authentic person, who you are at your core, and to be okay with that. The good, the bad, the ugly, because all of us have it. Not everyone is going to be always, you know, like the stereotype of perfection, you know? We're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where, you know, you're emotional, and maybe if that's a thing you don't care for in yourself. If you're emotional, it's okay. Like, let yourself feel it and go through it. And I know I always preach those words like all the time, to let yourself go through it, because I know best. That's what gave me anxiety. Thought, oh my God, I got to keep this together, you know, so I'd just push it down, I'd bottle it up. And then just built up and explode, you know, and that's what anxiety is, or panic attacks. And so just loving yourself in every which way or form that you come in. And then that leads me into, you know, talking about how you think on a daily basis. Like, how is your self-talk? That is so important. And that's what I came across through different like self-help books and different spiritual authors. And it was amazing because, I didn't realize like how negative of self-talk that I had going on in my mind. I was so hard on myself, and still this day, it's not like I'm perfect. There's still times that I'm hard on myself, have that perfectionist tendency. But the point is yeah, do your best and do good, but don't put yourself at such a high level that this ultimate perfection that it's so high up there that you can never achieve it, that it's unrealistic. And so I realized, like my self-talk was pretty negative. There was times I was downright mean to myself, things I would think. And so that is a huge part of loving yourself, is think about like, how do you talk to yourself? And one of the best analogies that I heard was, how would you talk to your best friend? Or how would you talk to somebody you really love? Would you talk to them in that same manner that you talk to yourself? I know I wouldn't. There's no way. And then that also goes to show you, like, the things that people would do, if they screwed up in the same way that I did, I would just berate myself and put myself down and be like, why would you do that? How could you do that? I'm so harsh on myself, but I could like accept and think that and love them and look at them with compassion and be like, that's okay. They can make up for that mistake. Or it was just a little mistake. Nobody really even noticed. It's fine. Like, it's just crazy because there was such a duality between how I would treat others and how I would treat myself. And that is huge, because you don't truly love yourself if you can't love yourself and talk to yourself like you do somebody else. That's huge. And so, to just be more compassionate, be more patient and caring with yourself. And then another part of self-love is thinking about, like, what is it that really makes your soul alive? Like, what makes you happy? Like, for instance, me, like, I love crazy fun jewelry. I love, not really a huge diamond girl, but I love gemstones, man. So I love like turquoise, all kinds of gemstones. I mean, there's a lot. And I have like a lot more. So I could go off on a list of stuff, but those things, like, they make me happy, like, makes my soul brighten up, because I just look at it and, like, for instance, this ring, I just look at the craftsmanship, I look at the, the artistic, the creative energy that came into this to make this ring, to make it be, like, that's something that lights up my soul. Or my little dog Stanley, my little Cocker Spaniel. Man, he's so important to me, man. He's just like my best friend, and he just brightens up my soul, even on the darkest days, And like the ocean and the beach, like the water, oh my God. And the feeling of the sand in between my toes and on my feet, like that really lights up my soul. So, those are a few examples that I have. So think about, what are those things, and then also too, don't limit yourself with money. If you are going through a tough time right now financially and your finances are a little bit tight, like, who gives a shit? Do something, find something that doesn't cost any money, that brings happiness and joy to your soul. Like like my dog, my little dog Stanley, like, I don't have to pay any money for that. He's already my boy, you know, he's already there. And so, because, you know, oftentimes people like want to get kind of held back because of money, you know, like I like to travel. So, you know, it takes money to be able to travel all these places, and not everybody has that. And that's okay. Like, if all you can do is go down to, you know, the park and go find a place that, you know, makes your soul happy, or maybe like a fresh cup of coffee. Like maybe you love the smell and the warmth and, you know, holding coffee. Like me, I love chai tea. So, you know, it's just like, oh, and then holding it, especially in the winter, you know, like it is now, and getting the warmth. I mean, that makes my soul happy. So figure out what that is for you and do that. Give that to yourself, that self-love. I would definitely just think about what you can do to love yourself more. Are there things that you have been doing so far that aren't very loving, that you wouldn't do to someone you loved? If that's the case, then quit it, you know, stop doing that. Make a conscious effort to be nicer to yourself. Incorporate things that you love, that make your soul happy throughout the day. You know, I know all of us get so busy in this world, like, you know, we have work, we have all these different tasks that we have to accomplish throughout the day. So just love yourself, even on a busy day, and just throw in something into that day that'll make you happy. Whether it's like, you know, maybe on your lunch break, like eat a quick lunch and then go down to the park. If that's something that, you know, sets your soul on fire, makes you happy, you know, do that. And, you know, or if it's like a little cup of coffee, like, you know, get that little cup of coffee and enjoy that time, you know, for you, and give that to yourself. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. And I just want to say that thank you for coming here, and thank you for watching this video. And I hope that there was something that I mentioned today that helps you and kind of resonates with you and helps lead you on that path, because it's so important. It's so important to love yourself, and love yourself for who you truly are, not what somebody else tells you or what somebody put onto you, whether it's, you know, your parents or people in your life, or even like things you read in magazines or on the internet. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but don't compare yourself to them, or don't be that person that those people want you to be. Be who you are. Find out exactly who you are and be yourself authentically, and be okay with that, because it's beautiful. Like, I really truly believe everybody has something beautiful in them, and they have so much to offer, and you do too. So look at yourself, even if it's hard. It was hard for me. It really was. And now after all these years, I understand why Floyd was telling me that at 18, like to look in the mirror. You know, I couldn't do it. It was extremely uncomfortable. So, you know, it was good. It's like, if those things make you feel uncomfortable, it just means there's something that's triggering you, and that's something that needs healed. So I encourage you to do that. Maybe try that exercise at home. Look into a mirror. Look at your face without any makeup on. Or if you're a man, look at your face, You know, when it's all like, when you're all disheveled and just came out of bed and you're not all put together, whichever way, like, just look at yourself and appreciate this amazing body that you're in. Appreciate the things that you have. You know, there's nobody like you. And I know that kind of sounds cheesy in a bit, but that totally is true. Like, there's nobody out there like you. Like, you were made for a reason. You're beautiful. And so, love that. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate. Be patient. And love yourself. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing day. And thank you so much for watching this video. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay strong. Take care.